What is hip-hop? That was the question we asked earlier. Heather B, I swear hip-hop is living in a manifestation, personification of a human being.
Amen.
Hip-hop is a human being. It's a way of life. It's a consciousness. It's you being true to who you are, regardless of what they think or who thinks differently from you. Hip-hop, in many ways, has been a savior for many of us.
Facts.
Had I not had this culture, I'm not quite sure where I would have been, but I would have been great.
Absolutely.
I would have been great, but I love this lane in which I came. I remember back in early 2000s when I want to say maybe 2001, 2002, Watch Out Now mixtape came out. Mm-hmm. I'm taking them way back. We taking a trip. We're going to take a trip. That mixtape came out, and it featured a lot of Bay Area artists, kind of like a compilation. Mm-hmm. And on that mixtape, a lot of people were able to discover some amazing MCs, one of which is with us right now. My brother E.A. Ski, who I grew up with, went to junior high and high school with. Ironically, neither one of us knew we were rapping, knew how we were at school.
That is hilarious.
What? Fremont High?
I went to Oakland High, but he did both. Okay. He was another person that introduced us to a guy by the name of Balance, and the next guest that's with us today.
Shout out Balance.
I want to go out back into the early 2000s when I was on MTV, bringing all of these hip-hop moments and platforms to MTV News. We did an MTV MC battle. Funkmaster Flex, Kanye West, Just Blaze, Dame Dash, Kevin Lyles. They were all a part of this battle. And this MC from the Bay came and shocked the world. They could not believe how talented he is. He was then and he is to this day. He did a great representation of Bay Area hip-hop that folks wasn't privy to. He has since been on many of radio shows. He has since been on many of platforms. But one of the things that he does, we talked about this earlier, this is what hip-hop does. It allows you to adjust and to create means for yourself. And if others aren't stepping up to the plate. If you go on this man's Instagram, Locksmith, D-A Locksmith, not only will you be thoroughly entertained by the music that he releases, and you can really hear his bars when he puts it on IG, but he created a series called the Locksmith series, which is extremely popular. I would love to jump in his car if he was a driver.
What you gonna do? You gonna spit, or you just gonna be like a passenger? A scrub?
A scrub?
What you gonna do?
You asked me 3 questions in 2 seconds.
I know you ain't
choice.
I know you ain't rapping.
You don't know what I'm doing if I get in the Locksmith series.
Oh, come on,
You don't know what I'm doing. He got his album coming out next month. His new album, NAIF. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
I said it before. There's not another rapper that's out rapping him. I know you'll ignore this comment that I'm making. You might not be courageous enough to take it on, but you're not out rapping him. Welcome back to the show, the one and only Locksmith.
Locksmith! The Locksmith!
It's great to be back, man. Wow.
Welcome back.
Those intros, I appreciate it, man.
That wasn't even an intro. That's a testimonial, dog.
Hey, man.
It's time to talk our shit, Bay Area. Stand up. Richmond, stand up.
Richmond.
Northern California, stand up. This is the era of truth. This is the awakening. This is what you've been waiting on.
Yeah.
This is why you stay persistent and consistent.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
You're outlasting the trends now.
Facts.
So you're not being determined by the so-called gatekeepers or these platforms that's going to say if you're this or if you're that. You're determining these things on your own. Welcome to hip-hop. That's hip-hop.
Amen.
When you listen to the song, I mean it. The man says it, and I want to know, does he really mean it? Hands down, I'm the best rapper in the Bay is me, and they all know it.
Yeah. Everybody say it, but they say it in secrecy.
Why?
I don't know. Fear.
Of what? Who is it to fear in the Bay?
Right, that's a win for all.
You know, it's just that mentality. You know what I mean? You have some people, like you mentioned, that I appreciate. You know, shout out my brother LaRussell.
Oh, we
Shout out to
love
LaRussell. Yeah.
Like I said back in the day, EA Ski.
Yeah.
Balance, those was homies he run with. Pilo, I Am Sue. You know, they're all on a new album. You know, I definitely wanted to work with some Bay Area folks that I respect, that I love, that I've seen come up and do incredible things. So the love is there, but then you got, you know, sometimes it's not in everybody's best interest, you know, whether it's the Bay and the hip hop in general.
K. Slay recognized it.
Man, rest in peace, K.
Talk
Slay.
about K. Slay, man. K. Slay recognized it.
K. Slay, shout out to EA Ski. The first time I ever was on anything on the radio in New York was through K. Slay. K. Slay brought me, EA Ski brought me up here to Hot 97, as a matter of fact.
That's
at
right.
First.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Freestyled on Hot 97. Then he said, come on back, you know, come back to Sirius. Did it on Sirius. And then ever since then, I was locked in with K. Slay, man. K. Slay, every time I come out here, he's like, yo, Lock, come by. I mean, we did some legendary things in the studio, too. Every time I came out here, I'm tapping in with Sway, and I'm tapping in with K. Slay. So rest in peace, K. Slay.
Amen.
I was blessed to be on all his 100 MCs, 50 MCs, 200 deep, all those. Every time he hit me, I was on there. That's what I love about K. Slay. It don't matter who you are, where you from. If you dope, he gonna recognize it.
That's a
you know
fact.
what I mean? And he's gonna put you on. And that's how he was. You know what I mean? Like, I need you on this. I need you on. I'm gonna put you on here. He just like, we actually had started working on a little project. He had sent me some beats. He was like, yo, Lock, let's do a project. And I regret that I wasn't quick enough to get those things done. But rest in peace to K. Slay. And he's just there will never, nothing can replace what K. Slay has done, man, for sure. I owe a lot to him.
Give me a lyrical breakdown opening real quick, Torch. I like where this is going. Shout out to K. Slay.
Yeah.
Hands down, I'm the best rapper in the Bay. The best rapper in the Bay is me, and they know it. Outside of the Bay, who's the best rapper?
You mean like period?
Yeah.
Or like all time or right now?
Right now. Who do you think is better than you?
I don't think nobody's better than me. but I am inspired by, you know, artists that's dope. You know what I mean? There are artists that I look to and I'm like, okay, that get me. You know what I mean? That get me pumped up. You know what I mean? I hear some J. Cole been on a tear right now.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah,
This
has.
dude
He's been on a tear.
He's ascending upward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, for this guy to be, you know what I mean, been in the game, and he's, you know,
He's been in the game a long time.
Ever since J. Cole got on the Gangstar remix with
He's
Guru
been going
and said,
crazy.
I'm never doing another feature. He's been on a tear.
going crazy. On features, going crazy.
Features, going crazy.
Going crazy.
Going crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
J. Cole's one that I really respect right now. Of course, Kendrick.
Kendrick,
I mean, every time he drops
just
something I
call it.
think is very dope.
I would love to see you, Kendrick, or J. Cole and J. Cole
right.
work together. I was just had a whole soliloquy about Kendrick's last
This
album
morning.
today.
Yeah.
And it's been out so long.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking, man.
In the Bay, like I said, I love LaRussell. I love what Simba's doing.
Shout out to Simba.
I had LaRussell in the lock lift. We're gonna get Simba in there. Dame Lillard.
Dame Lillard.
Shout out to Dame.
Yo, we
Dame
got
Todd.
MCs in the
What
Bay.
about
Bay.
you? You gonna put Sway in the car?
Hold up, man. This man is flowing, man. Why you stopping his flow? What are you doing? Yo.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dope MCs. You know what I'm saying? I like Corday.
Thank you, Lot.
Shout out to Corday.
Corday is great too.
Yep.
Hit me with that lyric. Let's get straight to some lyrics real quick, man. Go ahead. Hit me with that torch.
I don't get it.
What exactly don't you get?
Breaking down the lyrics you may not understand.
What the hell did you just say?
It's the Lyrical Breakdown
I can break it down like whatever you want.
on Sway in the Morning.
All right, man. This is a song that called Hypocrites that I wanted to go over some of these lyrics.
Yeah. That's that one right there.
Whew. Wow. And we'll get into other things as well.
Viral.
This is Locksmith's lyrics. I'ma stand on my position. I've always been a man and never ran from opposition. I've always took a stand to expand on contradiction. How you cancel Kyrie, but not your Amazon subscription. Jeez.
Yeah.
Speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, like, I just, when the whole thing happened with Kyrie and a lot of people was in an uproar, a lot of people came to his defense. But I'm thinking, my thing is like, if you're going to be upset about that, well, First of all, Kyrie just tweeted a link, but the link is on Amazon. You can still go and buy. Like if whatever he tweeted was so divisive and so harmful, then why is nobody criticizing Amazon for selling it? Like I like if it's so terrible, well, Amazon has got it up there. So whether you agree with it or not, I just try to hold a mirror to things. You know what I mean? I try to hold a mirror and let people. I try to put it in a way where people can decipher for themselves how do they feel about it. Like, look, this is what's going on right now.
Right.
And but you know what's crazy about songs like that? I get some people hit me up like some racist stuff. Like, you niggas need to shut up and go back to Africa. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But then you got some black people that's just like, you know what I mean? That's upset, like, why are you defending this white man? It's just weird. It's like, it's weird with me how people can take something and interpret it different ways. You know what I mean? But I guess that's the beauty of art.
That's the beauty of art.
That people can take it in these different ways. It can be divisive, but sometimes you gotta hold that mirror up. And let people look at it and be like, I'm like, yo, what are you listening to? But I think it triggers certain things in certain people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It triggers certain things. So as a person, like I like to look at myself as like one of my OGs told me it's like a modern day griot. I'm just holding up a mirror explaining what's going on. Like before Europeans was writing everything down on paper, we were conveying our history orally through oral tradition. So that's in a sense that's what hip hop is. So I feel like it's incumbent upon us to document what's going on right now. You know, that ain't got to be all the time, but that's what I'm doing. I mean, you know, and that's when it's the easiest, you know.
Yeah, that's what I like, you know. And you actually say now, what did you say that I thought was, I do not agree with his rhetoric, but we should scrutinize both guys, not just decide with the melanin.
Yep.
Now, you know, people won't hear that part,
Yeah.
you know. Now we about to take the L again. It's costly when your gene pool is out of pocket, the relishing. Every misstep we take abrupt, so you can understand it takes less than 4 quarters to break a buck.
That's wordplay.
Speak on that.
Well, that's a wordplay. 4 quarters. You know, it's 4 quarters in a basketball game.
Basketball, football.
4 quarters. Well, 4 quarters also in $1. Right. What's $1?
A buck.
A buck.
Yeah, and what's a buck? What was one of the derogatory terms they used for black people on slave auctions?
They broke a buck like they broke a beast of burden.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's kind of like saying, like, even sometimes you can have financial freedom to a certain degree, but when the media and everything comes down on you, sometimes, you know, it's particularly not just African Americans, but particularly black folks, you get painted in that corner, and it's like they force you to do something that may go against your principles sometime, and, you know, buck breaking.
And that line goes into
Not saying that Kyrie got broke. I'm just saying this is what we all have to deal with sometimes. We all have to make compromises and sacrifices. I've had to do it like, do I really want to deal with this right now? Sometimes you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to say it. You know what I mean? But sometimes, you know, those are our own inner dialogue that we have. You know what I mean? Aside from any corporation or anything.
I love this. Come on.
Me too.
All right, here we go. I'm skipping through some of the lyrics. There's only 2 ways we could get to read success. Either promote death or let them put you in a dress.
Yeah.
Is that what the rap game?
Well, that's an extension of the buck breaking, like emasculating, particularly specifically black men. We see that, and I'm not saying, look, whatever community that you're a part of, if you want to do that, that's no problem. We live in a free society for now where you can do that. But it seems to me, particularly with black men, that's their way. Sometimes it seems like it's like you're forced to do that. You know what I mean? Like you got to do that. And it ain't always necessarily a actual literal dress. Sometimes it's the metaphorical dress. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, you're going to do this. We want to feminize you. We want to, you know what I mean? You know, the negative and the positive. We want you to, you know, bow down, you know? So that's what that was. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory.
We kill each other because we focused on the bands. We kill each other because we focused on the bands. We kill each other because we focused on the bands.
Buckshots and take off, and fans posted on the gram.
Self-inflicted violence, desensitized from homicides.
Drama brings viewers, and viewers create dollar signs. Yeah. Yeah. We're like documenting some of our own demise.
Right.
Some of the most negative shit. And I get it. I understand, because the negative shit is what goes viral, you know, and the negative shit is what triggers the algorithm. And that's why I think it was so important for me to make a song like this, because, and I don't know if you want to go all the way into this, but when you're creating content, you know, the game has changed so much. Everything is about content, you know, everything is about the algorithms, you know, but I never want to be a slave to the algorithm. You know, I want to do things and create things that still feel authentic to me. So when I take a song like this, I want to create something in a way that's dope, but I knew when I created this song that I was going to trigger some things, but I feel like it's in a positive way. It's making you think, like, you can use these you can be the algorithm. You can manipulate the algorithm. You don't have to let the algorithm manipulate you. So when people are like posting stuff that's just violent, horrible shit, like, that's feeding into your conscience. That's feeding into your soul. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to be a part of that. I wanted to create something that was dope, that would make people think, but still, you know, that's still jam.
All right, I'm going to go through a couple more because I'm loving this. I feel like I'm in class right now. Thank you. The Locksmith is here. We defy stars and pray at the feet of farm. Oh, hold on. You know how much this country loves narcissists? We defy stars and pray at the feet of pharmacists. Prescription drugs. Pop music is well kept. We medicate our gears. These rappers become the sales reps.
Yeah, we medicate our kids.
I'm sorry. We medicate our kids. These rappers become the sales reps.
Yeah.
And the active ingredient is obedience. Instead, the microphone and the styrofoams, there's lenience.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man.
I'm reading these lyrics, so any of y'all, when I said in the beginning, you cannot out-rap them, and you think about it, look at these lyrics.
I'm going to tell you exactly where that bar came from.
Okay.
I used to work, me and Left, you know, my brother Left.
Yeah.
We used to run a mentoring organization in Richmond, a grassroots nonprofit organization called the Independent Living Skills Program. This is when I first, you know, was starting off rapping. And we were doing that, you know, for our day job. And we was working with a lot of young men, you know, specifically black young men, you know, in our neighborhood from like 12, 11 to like 18. And just trying to show them, you know, you ain't got to do this. You know, you can do this. And at this time, we're beginning our rap career, so they're hearing us on the radio. They're like, hey, these dudes is positive, but we can still do the rap shit if we want to do it, but we can still be positive. So we try to have a positive influence on them. But as time goes on, you know, you see a lot of kids, you know, from the time of 11 to the time when they start getting 16, 17 years old, you start seeing things change, particularly with young black men. You see them going from, I want to be an NBA player. Then by the time they get into junior high school, them grades, you can't play unless you got the grades. And then you see a significant portion of them fall off from that dream. So then the next dream is what? I want to be a rapper. Then that doesn't work out. Or while they're trying to pursue that, that's when you start seeing these other factors the negative factors. You know what I mean? Because you don't really want to, I try to tell them, like, look,
start calling.
The streets been calling, but now you starting to listen.
Yeah.
We try to show them, like, look, you can be a rapper. Look, we work a regular job. We take this money, we get studio time. I remember the first $300 I spent to buy the first 500 CDs or I had $300. I got $200 for my mama, $400 for my sister, and we bought our first 500 CDs and put them in Rasputin's. Sell them. Drove them around to all the different places. So we tried to show them, like, look, you can come up, you can do this. But then I started noticing something. By the time I get 17, I'm starting to see
lean
going up. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I actually saw a student that was associated with our group. Pulling up to the point. Then he started drinking it straight out
the numbing.
And just completely gone, you know? And I was just like, what the, I mean, I in all the years I just never seen it happen like that with somebody so young. You know, I'm talking about somebody that's 21 years old. And I was just like, yo, so I don't know, that kind of always stuck in my mind. So I was thinking of that when I came up with that bar.
Man, Locksmith is here. We're talking about the song Hypocrite, which we're about to play again. All right. I'm gonna say this last line and go into the song. We hypersexualize the naive. get them high and hide the intent. The BPM is the medium. We should all be accountable for slander. Keep it. No. I want to focus on that line. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high, and hide the intent. And the BPM is the medium.
Yeah, just the over sexualization in hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's become like a crutch. At first, like in the 90s and the 2000s, the men, we was doing it with the women. You know what I mean? Pouring the champagne, and you know we enjoyed the songs and we partied to them. But then it got to a point where it just got gratuitous. You know what I mean? It was just like, yo, hip hop is more than that. So then hip hop kind of corrected itself a little bit. And now the females, who I do love the rapping, but we just see it's just so overly sexualized. You know what I mean? Overly sexualized. And I'm all for females empowering themselves and being like, look, taking hold of their sexuality, but you don't want to go too far because that's all, you don't want people to see that's all they see of you. And I particularly care about that when it comes to, you know, people in our community.
Yeah.
Do you feel the music business has been a detriment or an asset to the culture? And then how do you feel like that's impacted the community?
When you say the culture, you mean hip-hop culture, black culture in general, or black culture? Or
Let's go black culture.
Black culture. You know, it's what Chris Rock say. America is like the uncle that molested you and put you through college at the same time.
Damn. Wow.
That's Chris Rock.
That's Chris Rock. Yo, Lock, I can't believe you said that.
But everybody understands what he means.
I know what you did. Yeah. So you feel that way about?
No, I feel like it's just like a double-edged thing. Like it has all these wonderful things. It's provided. The music industry can provide. It can put food on the table. It's just like anything else. Is how you use it. Like cough medicine. Like if I get sick, nigga, I'm gonna take some cough medicine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because but if you're taking it every day for pleasure and just for your leisure, it's gonna have some negative side effects on you. And you gotta be prepared for that. So it's just like the music industry. The music, like people, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. People just say, oh, they're doing this, it's Illuminati sacrifice, and you gotta do all this. It's like, look, man, I said in a rhyme a long time ago, if the Illuminati came to the hood, you niggas would be in line for it. Because it's not that easy. Do these things, do wickedness and weird stuff exist? Yes, but it's not as strange. It's simple as like, if you want to go down that path, the path will be there for you, but you don't have to do it. See, the path that a lot of people are on, like myself, people who want to be independent, people who want to create their own, it's not a path that a lot of people are ready for. This takes dedication. This takes hard work. This takes being steadfast in what you believe. You know, and that's a difficult thing. Sometimes you can't sleep at night. You're like, I've passed up a lot of situations where I was like, damn, should I have done that? I was like, nah, fuck it, it wasn't right, because it just didn't feel right to me. So, but what does that mean? I got to come back and go harder on myself. You know, and take control of what I want to do. But if you go down that path, nigga, that path is there for you.
Right.
That's on you. You got to do that. So I don't really blame the music industry, because the music industry is just in Islam we have a saying. It says that the shaitan can only whisper. He can't make you do nothing. You got to do it. So that's on you. That's the music industry is just there. If you want those temptations, it's there for you. Like Cat Williams say, I didn't want to go in those rooms.
Yeah.
You ain't got to go in those rooms. So I ain't never been in those rooms. I seen some weird stuff happen, but it don't affect me because I don't fuck with it.
What one weird thing you saw happen?
Nah, I'm not gonna.
You gonna go in the ride?
Just like, you know, you do see some overly. What's weird to one person may not be weird to another person.
else.
You know, what was weird 20 years ago ain't that weird. You
Today,
know?
right?
Yeah. Like
Trying to see if
that's
I saw
regular
something.
shit.
I guess I got to
Of course you saw something weird.
I stayed away from the weirdness,
But
though.
you saw it.
The weird didn't approach me. They knew what it was. Yeah. A lot of times.
But you saw it. You just, like he said, you didn't go down
saw
that
it.
road.
You need some water, Locksmith. You sound like you about to MC or something. You about to spit some bars or something. Hey, let me ask you this. Why is, do you believe capitalism is bad for the black man?
I didn't say capitalism bad for
You
the
didn't-
black
you didn't
man.
say that?
Uh-uh. I said, so you referring to another song.
Yeah, I meant,
America.
was it America? Okay.
Capitalism is a black man's hell, but Marxism.
Oh, that's what you said. It's a black man's hell.
I said, so capitalism is a black man's hell, but Marxism comes from Europe as well. It's not African. So when people take that bar, they take it as, and that was one of those ones where people are like, if you don't like capitalism, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the people who are saying, in hip hop, sometimes you have to shorthand. I can't say when these people say they capitalism, I just say and they say capitalism is a black man's hell, but Marxism comes from Europe as well. It's not African. The people who are critiquing capitalism and saying capitalism is horrible, well, we want Marxism. Well, Marxism is from Europe too.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was Karl Marx black?
Nah, his name was Karl Marx.
So my thing is, no, that wasn't even his name. His name was Karl something else.
Yeah,
whatever. But
if
you're gonna critique capitalism, but basically what I'm saying, if you're gonna critique capitalism because it's white, then you should critique communism because it's white.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
I didn't say either one. I'm saying if you're saying capitalism is a black man's hell because it's white, then you should say that Marxism is a black man's hell because it's white too.
We got the Locksmith up here. Big round of applause. The Locksmith. Follow him. DALOCK Smith. This is Hypocrites. Shade 45. The Locksmith is here. 888-742-3345. That was the song Hypocrites. The new album is NAIF. That's the acronym?
No atheists and foxholes.
No
that's
atheists?
an announcement. That's the first time I'm saying that's the new album. No atheists and foxholes.
No atheists in foxholes.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like what?
That's a saying that's been around. People I've heard. That people say that, and I just felt like that was just like kind of the embodiment while I was making these songs. That's what was just kind of stuck in my head. No atheists and foxholes. Basically meaning like, yo, when shit get tough, people start calling out for that higher something.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
You start praying then.
You start praying. You know what I mean? You start looking for whatever guidance you can, gripping something,
Yeah, when you get your back against the wall and all else fails, you get down on them knees and put the knees. You asking somebody something.
I could see a lot of people asking you for guidance, Locksmith.
Oh, man.
I remember when we had Lecrae on the show, and he had shared that there are a number of big-time artists in hip-hop who actually lean on him as a mentor of sorts, and he'll have conversations with them, and he keeps them private. Do you have peers?
You know what? That's funny that you say that because people do that. But I never thought about that.
I felt it. I feel like you probably a confession booth
weird.
for them.
Yo, that's weird that you say that. I never even thought about that, but I do have homies that are in the rap game, and they just be hitting me up like, yo, Lock, Dr. Lock. That's what they call
you, Dr. Lock. Doc Lock.
Because you know what? You know what it is? It's when you're on tour.
Yeah.
You have conversations with people, and people be like, because when you're on tour with somebody, you in the van or the Sprinter or whatever, you talking every day, all day.
It's intimate.
You just like starts, like you start seeing people have conversations like, man, I hate this shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody's going through different things, and you start having conversations, and I think that's kind of how that developed, being on the road with different artists.
Can you speak? You brought up LaRussell, but I try to. We have a lot of Bay Area artists up here.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think I want to give the outside world an inside look of what's happening in the Bay now.
Yeah.
Not what we've known to be of the Bay. There's nothing wrong with our legacy. It's important. It's incredible. But what's happening in the Bay now?
It's beautiful, man. I feel like there's so many different avenues. Everybody's creating their different avenues and their different paths. One is like we said, LaRussell, man. Shout out to LaRussell. That's a genuine dude. Like, I did not know him. I just saw his stuff online. And I was like, yo, this dude sound like he from the Bay, you know? And sure enough, he from the Bay. And I seen him doing stuff with P-Lo. And but I just was like watching his content and how he was doing stuff. And I was watching his interviews. I'm still a student, I'm still studying things. And I went to his backyard show. And so what happened was I was working on the process of revamping the Locklift series. So for those that don't know, the Locklift series is a series where I drive around and I'm spitting bars with fans.
One, two.
Yeah, with different celebrities or whoever in the car. And we just capture it, just live, like, just like y'all do here. But it started off as me just kind of, it started off back in 2015 is when I first started doing it, and I just started off playing songs for fans in my car. Because I saw like J. Cole and Logic and other people like doing ways where they would like go to fans' houses and play their music or but I was like, how can I do something like that but in my own way, a more creative way and do it? Right. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something called the Locksmith where I pick up fans. But then I end up rapping along to the shit. And I was like, you know what, the next time I do it, I'm just going to do a live performance in the car. So then on my album, Ali, I did it for about 4 or 5 songs. And then I was like, you know what, on my next album, I'm going to do it for every song. I'm just going to go in and just spit bars. But then the pandemic happened. So then we couldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
you couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that shit. So I was just like, I had to put it on pause. But then I saw LaRussell doing his backyard shit. And it just kind of gave me more confirmation like, yo, you have to find out what works for you and how you can utilize that and make that work for you. So I was like, okay, the Locksmith, that's my thing that I think that's unique to me, what I've been doing. So I'm going to really lean into that. And then when I start doing it, that shit just start going crazy.
Blew up, bro.
Yeah, it started going. So then I start seeing like Shaq retweeted, you know what I'm saying?
I retweeted.
Lillard, you was the first. No, Sway was one of the first people when I was doing the original Locksmith. You hit me, was like, yo, Lock, this is genius.
Yeah.
That was back in 2016. Wow. So I knew I was
Get in the car.
Go ahead. You talk to them. They catch them up.
Sway, no. But yeah, so I feel like different people are creating, you know, I feel like LaRussell has created his platform, what he's doing. I'm creating mine.
Yeah.
And you just have a lot of people who are just dope. Pilo, obviously, he's got an artist that's working up under him who I think is super dope. Sam Sneed, or I hope I'm not missaying his name. I know it's Sneed, but he's fucking dope. You know what I mean?
Jane
Hancock, she on the album. Raj is on the album.
Rexx Life?
Rexx Life, Raj. I got him on Jane on the project. I got Du Bois.
Du Bois is on there.
Yeah.
No, everybody was out at Jay Walt's. It seemed like a lot of people came to Jay
out.
Walt's.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Walt. Yeah, Jay Walt is dope. We came out to show love to him. MacArthur Mays. You know, they're creating. And it's just, you know, the Bay is full of, you know, dope artists, people that's already established, that's been killing it.
Is it Michael Sneed?
Shout out to Michael Sneed. He is incredible young artist, dope lyricist, very unique from the Bay Area.
And then Sam Sneed was from the Death Row.
Sam,
era.
Yeah.
From Sam, yeah.
Okay. 24K Golden.
I haven't met him.
The Bay has to embrace this young man.
He's very dope, yeah.
He's incredible. He's in a whole nother sphere of his own, and people don't realize he's from the Bay.
Yeah. Yep. He's super dope.
Bay. Yeah, I'd love to get
he did the 49ers. He had a song that was just like used for the 49ers that was just like super dope. But he's a dope artist.
You bring up the 49ers, they're gonna take it?
Come on, man. It's not even a question.
Okay.
Look at how he look at you, Heather. Look at him.
He didn't even look up.
He gave you a thiz
Dallas
face.
ain't the truth. Philly's not the truth. We tried to tell y'all. Shout out to 49ers too. Another thing I did that I leaned into, Sway.
This is it.
I was around I want to say not last season, but the season before, the playoff run the Niners had in 2021. You know, I'm a huge football fan, huge Niner fan, and the Niner kind of social media pages, they were like, yo, Lock, man, because I would interact on it. It was like, you should do a freestyle. I was like, look, if the Niners win this playoff game, I'm doing a freestyle. And they won, and I was like, all right. So I did it. Then I started doing it pretty much every week, every time they won.
Oh.
That's how.
And it carried over to the next couple years. And they went viral, you know, and the 49ers hit me up, you know, and it was like, yo, we'd love for you to do something official for us. So we put together like the official video and track for this upcoming season. We released that like, you know, in the off season to lead up to the thing. And
what's it called?
It's just a 49er, I think it's called 49er 2023 schedule.
Let's look that up. Being a Raider fan, I know nothing about this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
My condolences, brother.
Wow. You gonna come up in here? Really? Come on, dude.
Welcome to my side, Lock.
I'll put you on KMEL. That's how you do me?
Man, I'm sorry.
Locksmith. The Locksmith is here. The new album is called NAIF. No Atheists in the Foxhole.
Yes, sir.
Does it... Do you have goals in mind in terms of your stardom? Does it matter if you don't make a Billboard chart, or what matters right now?
What first matters is penetrating the culture, penetrating that's my first goal, you know, and it seems like that's happening, particularly with the new material that I've been putting out. I feel like everything starts from there. My goal is to make an impact on the culture, to make an impact on society, And I feel like everything else will fall into place after that. That's every time I kind of veer away from that, that's when I get unhappy with my output.
Yes.
But when I focus on that, things work out better for me. You know what I mean? Work out. I do what feels right for me. You know.
Dr. Locke, he just left.
No, that was going to be my one question to you, because Locke, when you said you think about some things that you may have turned down, and then you think about it, it's like, should I have done that? But what you said when you hit on was like, it didn't feel right. And I think it's no better thing as an artist when you finally come to that point where you could differentiate between what feels right and what doesn't. And I think that's it takes some time, like you said, and it gets lonely. You start questioning, maybe you're looking at your finances, all of that. But if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Just don't do it.
You don't. It's a difficult decision to make sometimes. You know what I mean? It's a difficult decision. Certain things I just don't compromise on. But like, look, I'm smart enough to know that there are certain things that you can work within, but certain things I just can't. I'm like, nah, it don't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. The Locksmith is here, man. Listen, make sure you follow him at The Locksmith, DALOCK Smith. The way it sounds is the way it's spelled. Don in Alabama, you want to make a quick comment? Don, what's popping, Don?
What's up?
What's up? What you want to say?
Listen, I just wanted to say, I've been listening to rap and hip hop for over 35 years, since the days of NWA, Run DMC, and Beastie Boys.
Okay, all right.
And I spent a lot of time on restriction growing up as a kid, so music was my only escape. So I used to dub tapes off the radio.
All right.
But I just want to say your flow and your lyrics are fire, and you're spitting the truth. Your words really challenge the brain. As soon as I heard you, the great Nipsey Hussle came to mind. Rest in peace.
Rest in
and
peace.
I was also reminded of Arsenal the Rebel.
Shout out Arsenal.
Arsenal bars.
Wow.
Bars,
It's great to hear you, because these young rappers nowadays, they just rap about anything.
Man, I appreciate that love, bro. Now, thank you so much for listening and really digesting the music, man. But it's some young folks that's doing some great things.
Don't do that. I'm not those blanket things, because there's some older rappers that just rap about anything. So it's just it's that rapper, But Don, you a super citizen, man.
In the morning.
Speaking of which, man, it's a celebration, citizens. Big round of applause for the Locksmith.
Let's go.
He ain't the first. This ain't his first time up here. We saw each other. We saw each other 3 weeks ago in the Bay. We went to see young Jay Walt perform.
Jay Walt.
Jay Walt brought everybody out on stage. ST spin everybody. He just brought them all, and Locksmith was there to support them.
We were talking about Locksmith. Who was the artist that came on the show when we were in L.A., and they were talking about artists from the Bay, and he freestyled. Was it Rexx?
That wasn't Rexx Life?
That was
Yeah,
Rexx Life.
And we
Yeah.
were talking about Locksmith then. It was like, one of the best.
I'm on a campaign right now, and I'm going to just put it out there. I've been saying this. Folks try to ignore it. I'm challenging your region. I'm challenging your region.
Your region.
Your region. I'm challenging your region. We had Rexx Life Raj up here. We had who else we had up here? Who else we had up here?
From the Bay?
From the Bay. Everybody. MacArthur Mays was up here. Souls of Mischief been up here. They all come down to the valley of the hyenas. But hold up.